a day or two to get all my ducks in a row, and then, okay? You don't have to have everything done. It's usually 2 or 3 weeks, so I just need to, but usually they tell us, okay, so they're getting their stuff today or tomorrow or whatever, so you guys need to da-da-da, but I've got nothing, so. But just to touch on that real fast, pretty much everybody in here, I expect you will be taking AB Calc next year. Okay. If that's not
scary.
what's going to happen, or you're nervous about it, or you don't want to, or something like that, come talk to me. But we'll have a longer discussion about it. Maybe Thursday, during the review time or something like that, we should have time for that discussion. Okay? You will, I promise you, I know you're stressing already. I promise you that if you do okay in here, correct me if I'm wrong, if you do okay in here, you will be prepared very nicely for AB Calc. Fair? And it's always been the case. In fact, you used to go from here to BC Calc, and people were prepared okay. So now we're moving you to AB Calc, which gives you an extra year of calculus and da-da-da-da. So this is a good thing, and like I said, you guys do fine in here, and you will be totally prepared for AB Calc next year. Okay, I promise. That's why I get the big bucks. But anyway, we'll talk more. Homework.
Green for
Oh. This is the stuff.
I'm so great at arm drilling. People's arms don't work for me. Like, why do people have to have arms?
Is that all right? Thank you.
Whoa, that's even worse.
3A, right?
Sure. Or 3B. Or 3C.
I mean section 3A.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, the first question was who? 2E? Between, okay, so all you're going to do there is look up those two numbers on your chart. Negative 1.22 and 0.5. And then once you get those two numbers, those two 5-digit decimals, you will subtract them. That's it, done.
Added.
I don't know 3. This is what we did in class. So, which one are you talking about?
Just like in
All of them?
general, yeah.
Okay, remember, here's your sequence of events, and this will carry on to 4 also.
Okay.
Step 1, how far are you from the mean? Step 2, how many standard deviations does that mean you are away from the mean? So in 3A, how far are you from the mean?
10.
10 minutes. Above or below?
Above.
Above, so positive 10. How do you figure out how many standard deviations that is?
You divide.
Divided by
11.
11. Sounds good. Because 11 is the standard deviation. This is going really weird. Well, put it this way. If you were 30 minutes above the mean and the standard deviation was 10, how many standard deviations would you be away? How'd you get it? Yep. So we're going to take that 10 and divide it by 11 and get 0.91, I believe?
0.91.
Yep. Yes? Okay. So now you know, remember we called this the z-score at the end of the day? But this is how many standard deviations we are from the mean. And it's positive, correct? So now we'll go to our chart. And we'll look up 0.91.
Okay, so I did it right, okay.
Okay, and then that tells us the percent that are to the left or less than that number, which in this case is exactly what we want.
Okay,
In the case of B, when they say more than, once we get the correct number, what do we do with it?
subtract, well, 1 minus.
1 minus that, yep. And then here, you're actually gonna have to do two numbers. You're gonna have to do 90, which is negative 15 over 11, and then 110, which is positive 5 over 11. And so you'll get those two decimals, whatever they are. Check the chart, subtract the two results that you get.
Okay.
Yes? Cool. Next.
4.
4 is two different questions. It's a baseball question and it's a softball question. Since softball is better than baseball, I don't know, I really have no follow-up to that part, but I just had to say that.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Well, when I coached high school back in New Jersey, baseball and softball sometimes would have home games at the same time. We're not back there copying homework, are we, guys? That would really get me really grumpy if that's what's going on, okay? So let's make sure we're not doing that. We'd have softball games that would start at the same time as the baseball game. So we'd have our softball game and we'd finish the game. We'd meet after the game, and I know you'll find this hard to believe, but sometimes I could talk for a while. Hard to imagine. We'd get the equipment together, head back, I'd talk to some parents, get everything done, go back inside, go to my locker, get changed, grab my stuff, do one or two things, and then go out to the baseball game and catch them in the bottom of the third inning. It was crazy. And then I'd stay for an hour, hour and a half, and then I'd leave about the 5th or 6th inning. So they'd have like 3.5 hour games, and we'd play in an hour and 10 minutes. I think one time we had a game under an hour. It was awesome. Anyway, I'm sorry. Baseball, same info, right? So baseball, the mean is 105, and the standard deviation is 11. And they want to know between 100 and 110 minutes. So give me info that we need. Hello? Info that we need. We're trying to get between 100 and 110 minutes, correct?
Right.
Okay, so
So the area between.
how far from the mean? So this is
Negative 5.
negative 5, I would agree. This is positive 5, right? Okay, now what?
Over 11.
Over 11, we have to divide by the standard deviation. So we put it over 11. What do we do then? Divide it, because we actually, this is very anti-me, but we need a decimal. I know, it's crazy. How about 0.45? Okay, so this is negative 0.45, and this is positive 0.45. What do we do now? Find those numbers on the chart. We go to the chart, we get a 0.45, or give me either one. I don't care whether it's the negative or the positive.
The negative is
So the negative is what?
0.32636.
0.32636?
Yes.
Okay. That's the negative 0.45. What's the positive point? No, I know the positive 0.45. I can figure that out. 0.67364.
Oh, you did the 10
Oh.
minus.
Because the positive and the negative will just be 1 minus. This is for positive 0.45. This is for negative 0.45. What do we do now? Subtract them. 8, 2, 7, 4, 3. What did we just find out?
The percentage of games that are that long.
The percentage of what games? Baseball games. Percentage of baseball games that are between 100 and 110 minutes. Okay, now what?
The softball.
Softball. Now we do softball. Okay, still, this time. Thank you. Softball, mean is 95. Standard deviation is still 11. We're still doing 100 to 110.
Sorry.
So now 100 is
Positive
yeah,
5.
I'm sorry, I was, yeah. Positive 5 and 110 is 15. What do we do now? Divide them both by 11 because we want to find out the number of standard deviations. I'm guessing that this is 0.45.
How did you know?
And I'm guessing that this is 1.36. I'm pretty good at this. And I've done this problem twice before already today, so. So what do we do now?
Divide.
Go to the chart.
Right.
I'm guessing that the 0.45 is 0.67364. That if I remember the chart correctly, and I've memorized the chart correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
You just didn't want to.
Wait.
What's 1.36?
0.9309.
93.
91309.
9, oh, you messed with me. 91309. And now? Subtract. 5, 4, 9, 3, 2. What do we find out? Percentage of softball games that are between 100 and 110 minutes. So, what is the answer to the question? Baseball. The answer to the question is baseball. Would that answer make me happy? Baseball? No. Why not? That's good. Why not? The answer to the question is baseball. It's not saying why. You're not telling me anything. I mean, that's like a true-false question. Baseball or softball? Baseball. Okay, got it. Let's move on. Well, no. Baseball is more likely to have a game that lasts between 100 and 110 minutes because approximately 35% of baseball games will last that amount of time, whereas only about 24% of softball games will. Okay, so when it says justify your answer mathematically,
What have I done?
what do we have to do? That, yeah. When you write this down and I follow it, okay, you have justified your answer mathematically. But at the end, you're going to want some type of a conclusion. Okay, so not just baseball, but here's why.
Do you like a graph for it to show it? Would that not count as justifying it?
When we're saying justify mathematically, we're kind of saying, I want numbers.
Oh, okay.
Give me numbers. And
not
so,
graph.
we got numbers here. Okay, if it was exactly one standard deviation and exactly 2 standard deviations and stuff like that, the graph might be good enough. But in here, it's a little harder to tell.
Okay.
That would be justifying it graphically, like you're showing that this is a bigger area than this is. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Which is good. I would say it's not quite there.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Done? Oh, are you calling me? Is that what you've been doing the whole time? I know. Okay.
You just, this number
Here's
minus
that.
this number
Go.
divided by 11. And you get your number.
Okay.
So this number minus this number divided by 11.
Right, so negative 5.
Yeah, that's your number, and then 1 minus that.
What?
Because you're trying to find out more than. If it's more than, then you do 1 minus 1.
So you do 1 minus 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minus 0.5.
This can be added to
And then I
my.
get 0.55.
Today,
Right, okay. And then
My DeviantArt is a lot more aggressive towards political things.
You get 0.7088.
I feel like I'm gonna cough, sneeze. Ah,
One minus point.
That's what I did. And I got 0.55.
Oh, hold on. Divided by. So 1 minus negative. Oh wait, I don't get it. Hold on. What did I do?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 1 minus negative.
No, because then that would just add it.
So then it'd be 0.55.
Yeah, I just put the other side.
What'd you get for 3B?
oh. I don't remember.
Oh, it's just.
Not right. Should I post this?
Yeah.
It was originally going to be a gun that he was holding, but I decided that she was holding, they were holding. I'm trying to gender identify my character. Ow.
Oh, I'm not done. I'll put it in later.
Figuring out the ones to steal so that you can copy them right.
This is mine. I just wanted to see what I got.
Don't tell your other man. I gotta have. I can't put this in.
You good?
Ow, I'm dead.
You guys,
This isn't cool. I'm not allowed to have hiccups.
So then this half is shaded.
Shade more than 110 or 100.
okay.
Between 90 and 110.
I don't know where I am.
Oh, I'm married now.
I'm here.
I feel like an idiot. You just shade between the numbers.
I'm married.
I don't know why I was struggling with that so much. Yike.
Yikes.
Wait a while. I'll wait like.
Wait, that's not my name. Wait, what did I write? Oh, okay. It's. I know what my name is.
Somehow, my grumpiness level has actually gone up since class started. Because they stole my passes.
Oh.
Woo!
The classes that are in here that aren't mine during 5th and 6th hour.
Really?
Deep breath.
Do you ever just want to go on a mountain and scream like you
Pretty close. Did you hear me at the beginning of class? And that wasn't a big thing. That wasn't even a big deal. But all right, here we go. Amy is a swimmer. She specializes in the backstroke. In her competition, her mean time for the event is 39.7 seconds. Standard deviation is 2.3. Assume that they're normally distributed. Now it gets smaller. There we go. That's it. Sketch graph of Amy's swim time showing the mean and the mean plus or minus 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations. Go. You guys can do that. You know how to do that. Do you think I'm very concerned about the shape of the graph being perfect?
No.
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 Mean.
I believe they stole his passes. I don't get why people do that.
It's not like they asked to see him. Anyways,
All you gotta do is go to the library.
it's also not easy to fake a pass. I mean, they're literally paper.
True. Okay, so
I don't like hiccups. Like, I really don't. This is just getting annoying. Huh?
said my life is getting annoying.
So you had them the whole time?
She hid them. The last teacher hid them so that her students wouldn't take them, which I appreciate. I appreciate that she would do that.
42.
I start this thing.
That was a lot of stress.
0.4.
Okay, we okay with this? What do we get?
What's this one?
So that's the mean. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Mean is 39.7. Plus 1 is 42.0. 44.3, 46.6. Sound right?
Yeah.
37.4, 35.1, 32.8. Happy with those?
Yeah.
Okay. Estimate. Estimate the probability that her time is between 37 and 44 seconds. So, okay.
No, it's small.
37 would be about here, right?
Yeah.
And 44 would be about here, right? Something like that? So now, what do we know? And again, this is an estimation, so we're not going to be right. But what do we know it's going to be more than? It's got to be more than 68. Fair?
Yeah.
Because 68 is from minus 1 to positive 1.
Yes.
What do we know it's going to be less than?
95.
95. Because remember, 95 is plus 2 and minus 2. So all the way out to the 2's would be 95. Out to the 1's would be 68. So it has to be somewhere between 68 and 95. Okay? So give me a guess.
80.
80? 81? I've been saying about 80 in my mind. But I would really say that anything between 75 and 85 to 90, I think would be very fair. I wouldn't go 70 because most of this is in here, so it's not going to be that close to 70. It's probably going to be up from there. Yes, sir?
The second standard deviation is like 13.5 and 13.5.
Yep. So this right in here is 13.5, exactly, and that's 13.5. So it's got most of this 13.5, and it only has a little bit of this 13.5. So anyway, so I would probably guess low 80s would be my guess, but you know, I think a very fair guess would be anything between 75 and 85, maybe even close to 90. Probably 85 to 90. Okay? Questions there? Now let's use what we learned yesterday to actually find it. So go. Right, this is last night's homework, correct? This question right here, this part C. So do it while I try to take attendance and not get any more grumpy.
The distance from 39.
Oh, yeah. We're 22 now, huh? So we are missing. Nobody from there, nobody from there. So it's, what's your crew?
Wait, how do you do this?
This minus the mean, that minus the mean, and
Sorry.
then over the standard deviation.
They just sent us an email. Guess what the email says?
Don't steal passes.
Teachers, just an FYI, we started handing out registration sheets today to freshmen.
Good timing.
Thursday we meet with the sophomores and Friday we meet with the juniors.
Wait, what did they meet with the juniors?
Friday.
Yep. The day after Thursday, I believe. Before Saturday. Yeah.
Wait, what did I say I was doing with myself? Okay. Right, I said I was doing work.
You ever come to school? No. Last Thursday, Friday, this Thursday, Friday.
Thank you.
But you're here tomorrow.
I am here tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
we're
going
going
to
to
go
be
back tomorrow.
I don't know how to do math right now. I am lacking in any skill.
If you get done today,
So what electives are you guys taking next year?
None.
AP psychology.
organize them, because I have to give them back tomorrow.
Actually, I'll probably take a junior.
That's not
AP
right.
world history, geography.
That's not.
Hold on, how do you
So if you have time during this
This
week.
is supposed to be like the subtract numbers, right?
We're doing 27 now.
Oh, I know what the answer is, I forgot what the answer is, but you haven't done anything.
It's 37 and 44.
Oh, I
don't remember.
Oh, you subtracted. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I did,
But
yeah.
2.3. Yeah.
Yeah, this is 37 minus 3. Then how
But
come
it
I
would
got
be
like
negative.
17 point like? It'd still be the same, but I got 17.
No, that
Where's 17 coming from? 44 minus 39.7, right? With
I
me?
think I just did minus 2.3
Ah,
and then divided it by 2.3.
boy, Katie likes decimal places.
Huh?
You like decimal places, huh?
I've always had my calculator set to 9. I don't know why.
You can change that, just
Yes.
in case. Okay.
Okay.
I know. I like
There
it
we
like that.
That's what I said. Katie likes decimal places.
She does now. Yet I hate decimals. It's
That's a problem, man. Okay, I got it now. I took it to those.
And then you find the
And then you
numbers.
find
Wait,
the
no, I
numbers.
didn't.
is her homework.
What?
Wait, I don't write
Did I leave
all
that
this
paper?
down, so I don't remember. Just find your numbers and then tell me what you did.
I think I have the paper somewhere.
You drive me insane sometimes.
That's negative.
I'm
That's
coming
positive.
out.
Wait,
44 minus that number would make it positive.
that makes sense.
We try to
But other than that, I think that's
every part.
Okay.
Is it 1.8? Yeah, okay.
We try to teach you stuff about everything. Plus, I have a 7th grade daughter, so I'm constantly going, who? Me and Lizzie did. Who?
That's my mom.
Lizzie and I.
But it's April, it says
Well, it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to communicate with your friends, then that's fine, which is basically what you are. But as much as possible, we're trying to help you prepare for, when you interview for the Penn Scholarship, for instance. You'll want to make sure that you are speaking in non-text speak or something along those lines. Did we get answers?
Yes.
Did it start with an 8?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It did it?
Well, let's.
Maybe mine's wrong.
Wait, I thought you sound so funny.
Nope, nope. Let's
And then you subtract them, don't you?
I do not want to go to
Neither do I. I'm actually dying, but it's fine.
Where are you dying?
Okay, please report to the cafeteria and Lindsay attack of completion of year 2. Show this up to your and please to report on the first email. Did they like select students or something? Like, what if
I think you have to like sign up, unless they're.
I've never signed up for anything. For any college. I
got a
never even knew
recruiting.
colleges came to this school.
According to my sister, she said earlier today, Sophia is getting something in the mail from NAU. I'm like, question mark, what? She said, that's what the UPS email said. Probably a recruiting letter for this kid. Recruiting letters!
I don't want to go to in-state school though, but I feel like it's probably.
If they give you money,
I probably no. I want to go to a school closer to like Connecticut, Maryland, because that's way closer to family, and I like the school better.
Yeah, unfortunately my mom's
What'd
not
you get?
gonna let me stray far from the nest. If
Okay.
she
My
does,
mom.
she'll follow me.
What
My
did
mom
you
got
use for that?
accepted. She lived in Tennessee. She got
1.8.
accepted to Berkeley.
Oh.
But her mom.
What should you have used
She
for
lived
that?
with her grandma, and so her grandma didn't
Wait,
understand that like school usually.
I'm guessing you
state
did
for colleges.
1.86.
So she was like,
Yeah, I
"That's
did.
too
And you
far."
should have
And she
done,
realized how good of a school Berkeley was.
Oh my god.
yep.
She still is doing the same
She's
job she
still
would
like
have done.
really successful.
Okay,
She's
cool.
still doing the same job that she would have done if she went to Berkeley. She prefers to work in jails. I don't.
Doesn't seem existent. What am I doing
I watched
wrong?
Hawaii Five-O the other day. There was like a
Okay,
really
what are you
bad
doing with
jail
these?
breakout. It was like,
I
wow.
did
Like,
0.4.
That's, okay, what should you have done first?
Question mark.
This is how far we are from the mean. We want to know how many standard deviations we are from the mean.
So divide
Yeah. By,
the standard
perfect,
deviation.
perfect. And then those are the numbers you're going to look up on the chart.
Okay. She's like, okay, leave me alone. Like, get away. And they were just like, that's just how you treat her. It's like no one cares. It's like, yeah, and she's like friends with some of the inmates. Like, it's like, yeah. So she like talks to them nice and she's like, I will help them. Like, you need another nurse. I don't think you. Like, she'll be like, call her, like, and stuff. She's like, okay, you just go get your medicine. That's fine. I'm just like, okay. Dang.
Your mom is like wanting to get.
So she's like, yeah, I prefer that because I don't have to like pretend to be like.
That's nice. At least she doesn't have to fake politeness. Because that probably sucks.
And then like at this job, her main thing is like passing out medication. And so when
Yeah.
she's not passing out medication, she's literally just in her office like talking to her friends. That's literally all
Oh,
And so like I'll call her and she's like, hey, and I'm like, what are you doing? Are you supposed to be working? She's like, I'm not working right now. I was like, what the heck? She's like, I'm home. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, I know.
I died.
Tell me about the number 37 there. Yep. Because it's,
Oh, it's postponed.
This one is standard deviation.